As you see the title of the review, you already know which movie this is, and yeah, let's start it right off the bat. Whoo hoo. Okay, so story, plot, and premise. I thought, right, because of all the advertising, I thought, well, super original, super fucking great, super awesome. It's gonna be a great one. I did not feel that way. I'm going to ding it on the story, and I'll tell you why in the spoiler section. But just know that to me, it's not a complete film. So to me, in order for me to review a film on the story and the plot, and all the things have to connect, and all the things have to come back at the end of your story. You don't leave me in limbo or whatever. Or if you do leave me in limbo, it's because you want me to think about the what do you call it? The connotations or the aspects of the movie that are like, how do I explain it? Just, I don't know, like the themes, if you want to talk about the themes and stuff like that, whatever. This is, in my opinion, not that. So towards the end of the later half of the movie, you're kind of left hanging, and I feel like story's not complete. And if they do get a sequel, which they might, because again, the marketing for this was amazing. The marketing, I'll give it a 5 out of 5 for marketing. But the marketing was so good that enough people want to go see this, and obviously people like me didn't enjoy it that well, that much. It's still a good movie, just, I didn't enjoy it that much. And so ultimately I believe that what happens is they made enough money, I think, to make a sequel. So if they do make a sequel and they retcon, or not retcon, but fix or I guess continue the story, then it would be a complete story. But at that point, you have to basically have a second movie just to continue the story. So to me, this movie is imperfect. It's missing its final piece, if that makes sense. So I'm going to dig it on the story, plot, and premise. Sound design and score, very good. Very creepy, very minimal. Like there are parts where you don't even have sound, and it's just either Nicolas Cage's voice talking or singing or other people, so it's really good. I like the sound design and score. Cinematography, I enjoyed the cinematography. Very creepy. There are shots that will live in my head that are very disturbing that I really enjoy. So yeah, I'm not gonna dig on cinematography. The acting and the cast. Nicolas Cage was Nicolas Cage, so great. The other acting, the other actors, they were okay. They didn't. I feel like the main character, character we follow, she didn't really stand out to me. I don't even remember her character's name, to be honest. And so it's like she didn't really leave an impression to me. And we spend most of the screen time with her. And I get, obviously Longlegs, or the Nicolas Cage's character, steals the scenes because he's the main bad and he's very good at what he does. But I just feel like I should at least know the main character's name. You understand what I'm saying? Like you see great horror films and you remember, Andy or, sorry, that's Chucky, but, the original Child's Play is great. But you know what I mean? Like you remember the main protagonist's name as well as the bad guy. If not, at least you kind of remember a good performance from the main character. And I just feel like her performance was kind of muted. I guess that was on purpose because of what happens in the story, but it just felt too one note, kind of not really, kind of lame, kind of not really responding to what's going on around her. Again, this is due to what might be happening in the story, but it's just not really as compelling to watch somebody go through stuff like this, like the events that are going on around her, and then her just not really respond or react to it in a way that, to me, a normal person would, right? Anyway, so the acting and the cast, I'm going to give it a half point, because again, Nicolas Cage, great. Everybody else, we're almost there. Directing, I would have gone in a different direction. It's good. It's still good. I'm going to give it half point for directing, because it's still a very well-directed film. I'll give it that. I just wish that the direction of the film, the edits and everything, final cuts would somehow somebody would be like, hey, we never explained stuff. And again, I'm not a person that needs stuff spoon-fed to me, especially if it's something that's like a think piece or whatever. But this is not that. It's what I'm saying. So now, let me go into spoilers. If you don't want any spoilers for Longlegs, please just turn away. But yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad. Before spoilers. Let me take that back. So, half point for story, right? Sound design score is good, so that's 2. That's 1.5. 2.5. 3.5. So, Longlegs for me is 3.5, guys. 3.5. I apologize if that upsets anybody. And, yeah, this is my opinion. That's how I felt watching the movie. And now, let's talk spoilers. So, if you don't want anything spoiled about the movie, you haven't seen the movie, you're waiting for streaming or whatever, just don't watch this part. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then watch this part. So, to me, yeah, they didn't finish the story. The ending is literally her grabbing the girl off the couch and shooting the doll. I thought it was going to show she picked up the doll and shot the girl. That would have been mind-blowing. But they didn't even do that. They didn't go further. They didn't show anything further. The fact that the FBI agent would fall for somebody bringing a doll to his house, I don't know. It's just the whole premise. Honestly, is just I'm glad they did it in a small town because it definitely wouldn't happen in my city. It definitely would happen to me. Oh, hi, yes, I'm from the church. I have this doll. Oh, you keep your creepy doll. And keep yourself away from me. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door. They don't come in. So yeah, just the premise of what's happening. Already, like after you find out that aspect of it, that he had an accomplice, it's this girl's mom, whatever. Also, it didn't make sense as to why he targeted her family, because it was just her and the little girl at that point, the FBI agent. They didn't have a dad, at least as far as I know from the story. So I don't get why he targeted them in the first place, for them to then become an accomplice or whatever. Because the mom, you know, in order for him not to kill the daughter or make her into a doll or whatever it was, she had to like do his bidding, whatever. And then at some point she just continued to do his bidding because she serves the devil now or whatever. I don't know. Again, I like the devil aspect. I like the devil outline and stuff. The doll's creepy eyes when they put the shawl over it. All the stuff is great. Like, again, the build up and the suspense and all this stuff is great. I just feel like the story, didn't finish, didn't explain a lot of stuff, and it also didn't leave me wanting, not more, but how do I explain it? Like, wanting to talk about aspects of the movie that were, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to think of another movie that was vague, you know, like a rival or enemy, you know, like they're vague. They have vague endings, and you're like, oh, okay, this could be interpreted as that, and this could be interpreted as this, but they still told a complete story. You understand what I'm saying? I felt like this was half told. You know, we don't know why Longlegs is doing what he's doing, which is fine because, you know, some people are just evil, but we don't understand any of the reasoning behind his attacks to certain people, because again, they said the majority is family. The father starts killing the families, the daughters or the kids or the moms or whatever, and then they kill themselves because the doll's making them do that, or making, you know, whatever. So, but my shit is, okay, so you can do this to any family. It doesn't have to be just the dad, because then you attacked her family and she didn't have a dad, as far as I know. The psychic powers or something that she possesses to know, hey, this is where right in the beginning, she knows where the predator is. She, you know, all this other stuff or whatever. She kind of not guesses, but like, again, her psychic ability is able to like tell her stuff. And so I'm like, does her having the doll give her some kind of supernatural ability? So then when she shot the doll, she no longer has because like something came out of her head. So it's like, you know, but that, again, that wasn't explained. It's just a lot of stuff wasn't explained that has to do with the story and does not have to do with like themes or something that we could just discuss and be like, hey, you know, maybe this meant that and this meant that. And it's just like, nah, bro, they didn't explain it. So it's like, I just feel like it's a cop out, you know? So, yeah, that's how I feel about the movie. Again, very disappointing to me because I was really looking forward to it. All the marketing, the fact that they showed the main girl's character, FBI agent, but the actual actress have like a heart monitor and her heart was racing when she saw Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage, I get it, like he wasn't, you know, method acting and being in character, but he wasn't that creepy. He just looked like a creepy dude that didn't take care of himself, that lives in the middle of nowhere. Like the girl that was dealing with him in the counter of that shop or whatever that he went in, and he started doing like the cuckoo like that, and she was just like, "Dad, creepy guy's here again." That's how I felt watching this movie. You know what I'm saying? That's not terrifying. I don't know. Yeah, just I guess to her it would be like her character because of what he did to her as a girl, as a little girl, but not the actress, which is how they promoted it. You know, I don't know. But again, the marketing got me in the seat. So marketing did its job. It was a little misleading in my opinion, but it did its job. And I still enjoyed the movie, even though I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I would have waited for streaming, and I would say you could wait for streaming for this movie. But I still enjoyed it. It was still an okay, but it, again, and then the fact that some people are like, oh, it's not a horror movie or whatever. It does have thriller or suspense elements more than horror elements. I would say it leans more like a 7, you know, which 7 isn't a horror movie, but what I mean is it leans more in that direction than something of like a Saw, right? Which some would say it's horror, even though kind of to me it's the same thing. It's a serial killer with a motive, and the FBI is trying to find him. But there are supernatural elements to this that make it horror, in my opinion, like the devil stuff, you know? Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. This has been my review of Longlegs. This has been another Useless Skill.